Oh, no. I'm on the wrong spot. Why am I in the wrong spot? Oh, I know why I'm in the wrong spot. Give me one quick second. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Well, hello everybody. We got a long way. Where my phone? Oh, that's right. I need my phone today actually, because read off the list of spells of what we're doing. We also plug it in too, so that way I don't have it die. All right, pull that up. All right, that there. One, and there we go. All right, that's it. Spot. That'll be a semi-okay spot. Yeah, so many things to figure out. All right, Claude, thank you for the lurk. Thank you for dropping by. Have a fun time at work. Well, thank you for lurking as well. All right. I got that second set. So we got a lot of spells to get through today. So I'm just gonna make this short and sweet while we get through all of this. Yes. So if anyone tells me that there are actually more spells than what is currently listed anywhere else, then I don't know. Because the app I have to reference D&D spells when I'm at a D&D session, it lists 80 level 1 spells. D&D Beyond lists 81, but technically it's 79. And trust me, I counted the spells like 2-3 times as I went through making this list. So fingers crossed it all ends up nice and well. But we have 79 spells, so let's hop right into it. Oh boy. Oh no, the other me is there. No, ignore the other me. Ignore the other me. You know what? Let's make this easier on myself. Goodbye, other me. There we go. So for those of you who are new to the tier list thing, I will read off the spell and then decide how it works. Also, I might be a bit biased for certain spells, but it's probably mostly because I play the class that involves that spell. So we're gonna go with this. All right, let's get started. Absorb elements. Classes for this can be Artificer, Druid, Fighter, Eldritch Knight, Ranger, Rogue, Arcane Trickster, which I'm just going to say Rogue for the most part, and same for Fighter, or maybe I'll skip classes, I don't know. Let's just focus. The spell captures some of the incoming energy, lessening its effects on you and storing it on your next melee attack. You have resistance to the triggering type of damage until the start of your next turn. Also, the first time you hit with a melee attack on your turn, the target takes an extra 1d6 of the triggering type and the spell ends. And then at higher slots, this gets an extra 1d6 above first. Which we're going to see a lot of, I believe, for the most part in some of these spells, as if you're new to the D&D, especially 5e, yeah, actually no, if you're just new to D&D in general, we have spellcasters have spell slots at each level. Cantrips are free casts, and then anything above, anything from level 1 and above, you have a slot. And when you use that slot, you basically, when you use a spell in that level, you use a slot, and then when you're out of slots, you're basically done with that spell unless it is a ritual cast spell, which I'm probably going to have to use tomorrow because my group is currently in dungeon and we don't really have a nice secure place to rest up. So where would I put I'm gonna say situational. Very situational spell in this case, mostly because absorb. There's not a whole lot you'll be facing at early levels. Yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot of early level stuff where you're going to be facing stuff that has like elemental stuff. So yeah, that's what we're gonna. And then alarm. You set an alarm against an unwanted intrusion. Choose a door or window or an area within range that is no longer than a 20-foot cube. Until the spell ends, an alarm alerts you whenever a tiny or large creature touches or enters the warded area. When you cast the spell, you can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. You can also choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. A mental alarm alerts you with a ping in your mind if you are within 1 mile of the warded area. This ping awakens you if you are sleeping. An audible alarm produces the sound of a hard bell for 10 seconds within 60 feet. Hmm. This is probably going to be my most filthy. I'm going to go with it situational. Okay. No, I can't learn alarm. I say that even though my cleric probably could get replaced. I don't know. But yeah. For the most part, you will be taking in watches. So unless like you're at a town place and you want to do that, then that makes sense. But other than that, there's not a I don't see I don't see or hear alarm be used a whole lot, so that is something I'm not entirely sure of. Next up is Animal Friendship. This spell lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. Choose a beast that you see within range. It must see or hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for the spell's duration. If you or one of your companions harms the target, the spell ends. Well, if I remember this correctly, I think one of my old group mates used this on a bugbear, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have worked this way. Yeah, and then when you cast the spell at a higher level, you affect one additional creature. Well, considering there are only 9 spell slots, you can affect up to 9 creatures. This does feel like a druid spell for sure. The beast intelligence is 4 higher, the spell fails. I'm gonna put this under it's okay. If it didn't have the clause about the intelligence modifier, I think this would have been up in situational. Armor of Agathis. Classes Warlock, subclass Paladin. I think my group mate is a Paladin of the Conquest, because that's the only way that would have worked. Or is there something I'm missing from Sorcerer? I don't play a whole lot of spellcast other classes, so I'm really interested in knowing how that works. All right. You gain a protective force surrounds you, manifests. What is it? On just on self, range is self. Wait, would that have worked on him? Interesting. A protective force surrounds you, manifesting as a spectral frost that covers you and your gear. You gain 5 temporary hit points for the duration. If a creature hits you with a melee attack while you have those hit points, the creature takes 5 cold damage. When you cast this spell using a slot of 2nd or higher, the temporary hit points and cold damage increase by 5. So the highest amount you could probably get is 45 by the end of it. That's if your DM even decides to go to that high level, because most DMs will probably end up stopping the campaign or ending it by like level 15. Because at that point, you are kind of gods at that point. Or so some say. Again, I'm gonna put this situational, because again, low level. At low levels, this is going to be a great spell. At higher levels, on the other hand, and not so much. If the goal is to get temporary HP, temporary hit points, a Twilight Cleric in your party probably would work a little bit better. Especially considering how high level is. I speak from experience being a Twilight Cleric, because right now, with my Channel Divinity ability, I can now grant... Max I can grant, if the dice is rolled correctly, is 11 temporary hit points. And that's just going to go up and up as we progress. I know that's not going to be... That's not much, but... I can reset it every turn, so it kind of works out in the end. Hello! Thank you for the heart. Ooh, and that looks great. Cool. All right, so we're keeping that browser check. All right. Then we have Arms of Hadar. How are you? Before I continue, how are you doing today? Zoshi? Is that how you say it? I'm sorry if I haven't said your name before. I was never quite sure how to pronounce it correctly. Let's see. It's a Hadar. Invoke the power of Hadar, the dark hunger, tendrils. Dark energy erupt from you and batter all creatures Within 10 feet, each creature in the area must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 2d6 necrotic damage and can't take react. Why is this a spell? Action until its next turn. On a successful save, the creature takes half damage and suffers no other effect. When casting this at a higher level, you get an extra 1d6 for each slot above first. Oh, it's a warlock spell. That's probably why. Our party doesn't really play a lot of warlock. Maybe I should play a warlock next. Must be a strength saving throw. Well, again, this is going to be situational, especially since it's going to be based off of a strength saving throw. And depending on who or what the creature is, you're going to have problems with that. Oh, we're already 5 spells in, and we got a long way to go. All right. Yeah, it's very situational. Because they can either take half the 2d6, or they can take the 2d6 and then they don't have a reaction until its next turn. Which would be fun to see how that goes. Alright. Next up is Bane. And unlike the Batman counterpart, this one does not break anyone's back. Up to 3 creatures of your choice that you can see within range must take a charisma saving throw. Charisma saving throw. Whenever a target that fails this saving throw makes an attack roll or saving throw above before the spell ends, the target must subtract a d4 from that roll. When this is cast higher, you can target 1 additional creature. Okay. I'm probably going to say the same for Bane, and its counterpart Bless. They're both gonna. I feel like they're both gonna go in situational. Cause again, Bane is one of those things. It's like a D4 probably won't mean much in the long run, but yeah, D4 won't mean much in the long run. And then we have to put into account the charisma saving throw, which I think. Actually, no, I haven't used Bane a whole lot in my cleric. I think I removed that spell from my spell list because my prepared spell list, I should say. Clerics can prepare spells. Yes. Anyways, yeah, removed from my prepared spell list because my group needs more other stuff. Bane, really. Yeah. Should I just put that here? No, it should go to be spawned, then it'll go here. I mean, I already know it's gonna go there. Be spawned. Because this is a druid spell, druid or ranger spell. Okay, that's why. You establish a telepathic link with the one beast you touch that is friendly to you or charmed by you. The spell ends at the beast's intelligence 4 or higher. Until this spell ends, the link is active while you and the beast are within line of sight of each other. Through the link, the beast can understand your telepathic messages and can telepathically communicate simple emotions and concepts back to you. While the link is active, the beast gains advantage and attacks rolls against any creatures within 5 feet of you. It's an okay spell. It's not. That intelligence or lower seems kind of ridiculous. Although I probably have to look at beasts. And then again, this is just me being like, I have not played a. I have played a ranger, but I have not played it in the sense of it's going to have an animal companion. I've also played a druid, but it was for a one shot, and that one shot got very hectic really quick, so I did not have the chance to experiment, shall I say, with everything that goes on with druids. Kind of wish I did, though. I might just play it. I consider playing a druid next. That'd be a fun idea. I have to figure out what class I want to be. Actually, wait, no, I think I have an idea. I have an idea for that. We will continue on. And Bless, I know Bless. I'm not going to read the full spell because, like I said, it's essentially Bane, but it boosts your comrades' attack rolls and saving throws by a D4. Which again, it's one of those. It's very situational because a D4 could save you and a D4 could not save you. But for the most part, there are a lot of skills and stuff that could basically get you to have advantage regardless. And then there's Burning Hands. I have a bad memory of Burning Hands. Well, actually, no, my roommate has a bad memory of Burning Hands, I should say. As you hold out your hands with thumbs touching and the fingers spread, a thin sheet of flame shoots from your outstretched fingertips. Its creature in a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 3d6 fire damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful save. The fire ignites any flammable objects in the area that are being worn or carried. And then at higher levels, it gets an extra d6. Okay, thank you, Asus, for doing that. I'm going to eventually figure out why that keeps beeping every so often. Situational. Because, again, actually, I probably say that a lot about most of these spells, especially with the saving throws involved, because the DM can have extremely good luck. So sometimes it might work, sometimes it won't. I still have my roommate has a bad experience with this spell, so let's just say it's not great for the inexperienced wizard to go spamming the spell willy-nilly, because we will eventually have to deal with it. All right. And it's catapult. I want to say situational, but I want to do this. I want to put it as godlike for the memes. Mostly because there's like a lot of 1 to 5 pound items you could. Choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within range that isn't being worn or carried. The object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction you choose before falling to the ground, stopping early. If it impacts against a solid object, the object would take. If the object would strike a creature, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the object strikes the target and stops moving. When the object strikes something, the object and what it takes strikes each creature. When it strikes, each take 3d8 bludgeoning damage. At higher levels, you can increase it dex for 5 pounds, and you can do an extra 1d8 damage. I want to put it in God tier for the meme, but I'll put it under situational again. You can do a whole lot with the spell, but there's not that much you could do with it. And for the most part, if you're throwing an object with catapults and it's inanimate, more than likely it is going to fail that save. All right. Cause fear. You awaken the sense of morality of one creature you see within range. A construct or undead is immune to this effect. The target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you until the spell ends. Frightened use the spell ends. A frightened target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. At higher levels, when you cast this spell, second or higher, you can target one additional creature. The creature must be within 30 feet of each other. I'm gonna go with this has some role play value. because if you're sneaking around, you could use this to keep someone around, or you could also use it in battle. Actually, you could also use it in battle too, because they can't. Advantage again, ability checks and attack rolls with the source of zeros and light. The creature can't move willingly. Yeah, this is also could be used situational in terms of battle too. But I feel like this kind of has a bit of a roleplay value, more or less. Same thing with the next one, because ceremony is very interesting. It's a long wall of text, so I will try to perform a religious ceremony that is infused with magic. When you cast a spell, choose one of the following rites. The target of which must be within 10 feet of the casting. Atonement. You touch one willing creature whose alignment has changed and make a d20 wisdom insight check. On a successful step check, you restore the target to its original alignment. Bless water. You touch one vial of water and cause it to become holy water. Wait, what? Coming of age. You touch one humanoid who is a young adult for the next 24 hours. When they make an ability check, it can roll a d4. Add the number of roll to an ability check. You can only use once. Wishes to be dedicated to your god's service for the next 24 hours. Whenever the target makes a saving throw, it rolls 1d4 and add the roll to save. Okay. Funeral rite. You touch one corpse in the next 7 days, the target can't become undead by any means short of a wish spell. Oh, fuck. Well, is this, how long does it take to cast? Casting time is 1 hour. Okay, yeah, that's not happening. If it was instantaneous, then that would make sense. Wedding. You touch one adult human creature, bonding in together marriage. For the next 7 days, each target gains +2 bonus to AC while they are 30 feet of each other. A creature can benefit from this right again if only widowed. Only if widowed. Okay, yeah, then this is definitely role play. Wait. That means you can create holy water. Yes. I have ideas if I ever were to play a Curse of Strahd campaign again. Yes. Holy water. That'll help against the vampires. Alright. Chaos Bolt. You hurl an dauntingly warbling mass of chaotic energy at one creature. Each in range. Make a green spell attack. Attack. Target takes 2d8 plus 1d6 damage. Choose one of the 1d. Its number rolled on the die determines the attack damage as shown. Okay, so this. If you roll the same number on both d8s, the chaotic energy leaps from target to a different creature of your choice within 30 feet. Make a new attack roll and make a new damage roll, which could cause the chaos to leap again. A creature can only be targeted only once by each casting of the spell. Cast a spell, each target takes 1d6 extra damage of the type rolled at the first. Okay. Godlike. You can cause a lot of chaos with this, so you could, like it. And I love how it's also designed more as like a. It's more based off of like the player's ability versus the DM's capabilities, so I like that a lot. Charm person. You attempt to charm a humanoid you see within range. It must make a wisdom saving throw, and it does so with advantage if you and your companions are fighting it. If it fails the saving throw, it is charmed by you until the spell ends, or you and your companions do anything harmful to it. The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was you who charmed it. This has some roleplay value. Because I don't foresee this working in combat as well. And again, I don't really use charm spells a whole lot. So that might be why. But I feel like this would be more of a It's definitely more of a roleplay element spell, because you could possibly get something out of it for the most part. So we're gonna go with that. Chromatic orb. You hurl a 4-inch diameter spear of energy at a creature that you see within range. You choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder for the type of orb you create. Then make a ranged spell attack at the target. If the attack hits, a creature takes 3d8 of what type you choose. I'm going to slap this in situational, because you could possibly choose a type and the creature could be resistant to it. So then for the most part, you're wasting most of your level 1 spells trying to figure out, all right, what's the spell, what works well in these things and what doesn't. Which is a good roleplay element. Which is a good element in D&D, is you get to figure all that stuff out. But it's one of those things where if you don't know what it is, you don't know what it is. Or color spray. Oh geez, that's a lot of text. A dazzling array of flashing colored light springs from your hand. Roll 60-10. The total is how many hit points the creature has the spell can affect. Creatures in a 15 minute are affected in descending order from the current hit points, ignoring unconscious creatures and creatures can see. Starting with the creature has the lowest current hit points. Each creature affected by this spell is blinded until the end of your next turn. Subtract each creature's hit points from the total before moving on to the creature with the next lowest hit points. A creature's hit points must be equal or less than the remaining total for the creature to be affected. And then you get to roll an additional 2d10. I'm gonna say it's an okay spell. One could be argued it could go in situational. Actually, you know what? We'll put it back in We'll put it in situational, because it's the whole you don't know the player's health pool yet, so that could end up being one of those things you have to figure out in the long run. You also have to time that carefully too, so that way you're not like wasting that as a spell right off the bat. Even though you could roll like straight 10s on the d10s. Oh, food. Sorry, I'm just kind of semi-prepping some food for later. Mostly it's cheese sticks. All right. Command. You speak one word to command a creature you see within range. The target must succeed a wisdom saving throw and follow the command on its next turn. The spell has no effect if the target is undead, if it does not understand your language, or your command is directly harmful to it. Some typical commands and their effects follow. You can issue a command other than described here. If you do so, the DM determines how the target behaves. If the target can't follow your command, the spell ends. We got approach, drop, flee, grovel, and halt. When you cast this spell using a second slot or higher, you can affect one additional creature. Okay. Is anyone surprised where this is going? What do we make sure? There we go. Yeah, is anyone surprised by that? I'm not. I'm not surprised where most of these spells are going to go, because I feel like all these level 1 spells, for the most part, are going to be like this. At least for the most part. All right. Compelled Duel. I think I was going to attempt to use this as a paladin, but I think you pretty much get Compelled Duel as a free action as a paladin. Again, only played a paladin once for a one-shot, so I never quite understood and or quite figured out how they all worked. You attempt to compel a creature into a duel. One creature you see In range must succeed a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is drawn to you, compelled to your divine demand for the duration, and has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you. It must make a wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from you. If it succeeds, the spell doesn't restrict the target's movement for that turn. The spell ends if you attack another creature. If you cast a spell that targets a hostile creature other than the target, if a creature friendlier to you damages the target, cast a harmful spell on it. Or if you end your turn more than 30 feet away from the target. Into the situationals plot we go. And next up is comprehend languages. I know where this is going. For the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You can also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface of which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read one page of text. The spell doesn't decode secret messages in text or glyph, such as arcane sigil. This isn't part of a language. All right, so this has definitely got some. This has got some roleplay material to it. Yeah, this has definitely got roleplay material to it because you could be reading an ancient book that none of the party understands because who picks the right languages when it comes to creating a party anyways. All right. Create or destroy water. You either create or destroy water. Create water. You create up to 10 gallons of clean water within range in an open container. Alternatively, the water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube within range, extinguishing exposed flames in the area. Destroy water. You can basically do the exact same thing. When you cast it at a higher level, you get to destroy an additional 10 gallons, and the size of the cube is increased by 5 feet. I'm gonna say it's an okay spell for now. Mostly because honestly, I'm built more for combat, and I'm not designed for role play in terms of that stuff. So I'm gonna be figuring that stuff. Man, I really want to play that. Anything else? Cure wounds. A creature you touch gains additionally points equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. Does not affect. Yeah, I know where this is going. Because this is one of these. Really an fire elemental, huh? Oh yeah, for create or destroy water. Sorry, I'm on the next spell already. All right, so yeah, what did know fire element? But for the most part, I feel like that it's an okay spell for me. But Cure Wounds is definitely godlike. If you have the ability to get it in one of your classes, I get it, because this could save your party. Although I speak from accidentally having to have my party die. Well, 2 of my party members died. Well, 1 died because of death saving throws, and 1 died due to died and decided to kill his character to roleplay, which all kind of worked out, sort of. But yeah, if you have the ability to take healing spells, take it. Let's see. Detect evil or good. For the duration, you know if there's an apparition, celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, if you know there is a place of object within 30 feet of you that has been magically... Yeah, same. There's an object range is magically concentrated. The spell can penetrate most barriers that's blocked by 1 feet of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, and 3 foot of wood or dirt. I'm gonna slap this into situational. Yeah, I'm slap that in situational. Yeah, slap that there for now. Cleric and Paladin can learn that, huh? Well, it's a shame I have not built my Twilight Cleric like this. And Tech Magic. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this... Thank you, Labco, for picking up a grimoire. Are the only way to get back to the Codex, and thank you for the follow. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura on any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. And you learn at School of Magic. Spell control spend theirs, and then it's pretty much the same thing as Detect Evil or Good. Although I feel like I know where these actually I know where most of these are going. I think I've said this a lot, because for out of all the spells I have here, oh, that's a different. Yeah, it's fine. I feel like most of these are going into the situational pile, and there's going to be very few anything else. But Detect Magic is definitely... Actually, wait, no. Not situation. Actually, wait, hold on. I redact. Hold on, put you there. I redact this. I'm going to redact what I said about Detect Evil and Good. I'm going to put it up in more as of a roleplay value. Same with Detect Magic. Especially if you have a wizard that has a possibility of either having the Identify spell, or you have a good arcane roll. So at least you'll be able to figure that out. So I'm going to put that there. And I think the same thing is going to be said for the next one. Because it's Detect Poison and Disease. Since the presence of locations of poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you, you also identify the kind of poison creatures, and disease in each case. This has such good roleplay material. And you can ritual cast. That's even better. Yeah, this has definitely got some roleplay material. Actually, the same thing can go for Disguise Self too. You make yourself, including your clothing, armor, weapons, other belongings on your person, look different until the spell ends, or until you use your action to dismiss it. You can seem 1 foot shorter or taller. You appear thin or fat in between. You can't change your body type, so that you must adopt a form that is the exact basic arrangement for your limbs. Otherwise, the extent of the illusion is up to you. Holds into physical inspection. For example, if you use this spell to add a hat to your outfit. Oh, fails. Hold up. I hate how small this text is, but yeah. We've reversed this. This has a lot of roleplay capabilities, and I like that. You should always have a mix of good roleplay spells and everything else. Focusing on combat could possibly end up screwing you over in the long run. But yeah, Disguise Self is definitely something you could work with a lot. Because you can also use it to maybe sneak into a place if you're very lucky. All right, Dissonant Whispers. You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The creature has succeeded Wisdom saving throw and failed takes 3d6 psychic damage. It must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows it from you. The creature doesn't move. The creature doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground, such as fire or a pit. Successful save, the creature takes half damage and doesn't do anything else. A deafened creature automatically succeeds on the save. Right into the situational, if only because of the... At least for me, it's definitely because of the saving throws. For the most part. Yeah, it's also not that bad. It's also one of the... It can also probably hurt a barbarian too, because depending on how a barbarian is built, psychic damage is probably the only thing that can harm it. Thankfully, we managed to deal with a barbarian slash fighter that was sort of like that. I don't know. The DM doesn't want to tell us that, but we still ended up winning. Even actually, no, we didn't win. He self-destructed. He blew up his blood clones, killed, and eventually ended up knocking a good majority of us down. I want to know what that class was. All right, next we're on distort value. I think I know where this is going. Do you need to squeeze a few more gold coins out of a merchant as you try to sell that weird octopus statue you liberated from Chaos Temple? You want to downplay the worth of some magical assets when the tax collector stops by? Okay. You cast a spell on an object more than 1 foot on a side, doubling the object's perceived value by adding illusionary nourishes or polishes to it, reducing its perceived value by half with the help of illusionary scratches, dents, and other unsightly features. Anyone examining the object can ascertain its true value on a successful intelligence check against your spell DC. This has got some roleplay capabilities, because let's be honest, who hasn't tried to like sell their stuff and the merchant has just decided that it's not going to work? Or I wonder if you could, distort value doesn't work on potions because they're already at their greatest. Yeah. Divine favor. Your prayer empowers you with divine radiance until the spell ends. Deals 1d. Deals 1d. Where's your divine radiance? Spell ends. Well, considering this is the only spell that's... Actually, no, clerics can do this too. So I'll pop this up in God tier for now. Yeah, actually, yeah, I'll pop that up in God tier since it doesn't... It basically gives an extra 1d4 damage, and that could potentially help you in the long run. And I'm okay with that. Where are we at? We're on Earth Tremor. All the way down here. Which I've actually used this spell, so I'm kind of... I want to see what my brain's going to think of it. It causes a tremor in the ground within range. Each creature other than you in the area must succeed a dexterity saving throw. On a fail, it takes 1d6 bloody damage and is knocked prone. If the ground under that area is loose earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until it is cleared. When each 5-foot diameter portion required at least 1 minute to clear by hand. At higher levels, this goes up by 1d6. Very situational, I feel. I don't really think this is going to get much. Yeah, because very situational. I mean, you could end up getting some enemies down by a 1d6 and knock them prone. And you also can make the ground rough difficult terrains. So that kind of works pretty well. But that all depends on everything else. And next up is Ensnaring Strike. I'm not. I don't know if we're halfway yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11. 1, 2, 3. 44. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. One, two, three, five, six. Okay, yeah, that's 6. Okay, so we're at 50. Then what's half of this? We're not even halfway through these spells. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Gonna be more fun when there's... I think the next set... I think there are a couple of spells that are like at least 90. Long way to go, and let's get started. All right. Ensnaring Strike. The next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends, a withering mass of thorny vines appears at the point of impact. And the target must succeed a strength saving throw or be restrained by the magical vines until the spell ends. Larger creatures advantage on the saving throw. If the creature succeeds in the save, it shrivels. While restrained by this spell, the creature takes 1d6 piercing damage at the start of its turn. Creatures in its vines or one that can touch it can take action to make a strength check against your DC. And this by higher, damage increases by 1d6. This is... I'm gonna have enough text to write. I'm probably not. Oh dear. I'll figure it out. Yeah, this is very... I feel like this is a situational spell for the most part. Especially if you have to cast it and then hit it. Unless you're... Yeah, because you can't take a... Unless you're a paladin and then you take the... What was it? Played a paladin before. I should remember this. Oh no, that's a fighter. Yeah, if you took class in fighter, that's what I'm thinking of. It's like, yeah, second wind, isn't it? Isn't that what I'm thinking of? Hold on, let me pull up my character sheet. For my level 15 fighter. Or one shot. Okay, I do not have that written down. I need to... I know I've played at least one. Oh, here, Mr. T. Nope, action surge. That's what we got. Yeah, if you got action surge as a fighter and use that, then that would make more sense. But I don't... This is a ranger spell, but at that point, you might as well just play a fighter with a bow. It's better. Entangle. Grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground on a 20-foot 20-foot square, starting from a point within range. For the duration, these plants turn the ground into an area of difficult terrain. A creature in the area, when you cast the spell, must succeed a strength saving throw, or be restrained by the entangle of plants until the spell ends. A creature restrained by these plants uses its actions against the spells. You see in success, it frees itself when the spell ends. And into situational it goes. I really wish I played Druid more often. I could probably have used this a little bit. All right, I'm gonna take a quick 2-minute break, and I'll be right back. Let me. All right. Expeditious Retreat. The spells allow you to move at an incredible pace when you cast a spell. And then as a bonus action until the spell ends, you can take the dash action. Oh, why is this not a thing? Why does no one take this spell? This is god tier. Oh, actually, can you do one more? That's better. There we go. Yeah, no, that's gonna be a god tier. For sure. A bonus action to use the dash action when you normally have to use the dash action, unless you're a rogue. Actually, no, at early levels, yeah, this would be a good thing to have for anything. And Fairy Fire. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet color, your choice. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast also outlined in the light if it fails a dex saving throw. For the duration, objects in an affected creature shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. And the affected creature or object can't benefit from being visible. I really wish I cast this on that stinking kobold and its teleporting ridiculousness. Uh but I'm a place it here and situational because of that dexterity saving throw, because most things have pretty good high dex. Plus, it also doesn't really move with people, so that's kind of the other thing. Oh boy. False life. Bolstering yourself with the product facial smile? No. Facsimile. Okay, so that's how that's spelled. Facsimile of life. You gain 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points during the duration. And for classes cleric down. It's not bad for a level 1 spell. especially for that. I'll put that here. Because then when you cast this above 5, you gain 5 additional hit points for each spell slot above first. Okay, so it'll be 1d4 plus 4 plus 5. Or plus however the level is. Okay. Featherfall, I know where this is going. Choose the 5 falling creatures within range. A falling creature's rate of descent slows to 60 feet per round until the spell ends. If the creature lands before the spell ends, it takes no falling damage. Boop, boop, boo. Into God tier you go, because falling damage can kill people really quickly. If they're not careful. Find familiar. Oh, and this wall of text. I'm just going to paraphrase this because this is a long wall of text. You basically summon a familiar. You get to choose what form it takes. Carrying an occupied space within range. Creature has to the chosen form through it, though it is a celestial or fiend, your choice instead of a beast. Acts independently of you, but it will obey your command. In combat, it rolls initiative and acts its turn. It can attack, but it can do other stuff. When dropped to 0, it disappears, leaving behind no physical form, and then when you cast the spell again, you get it back. And then you can do thing. Hold on. I gotta send a question. I gotta send a message. Because I love how we forgot about. Because our wizard has a familiar. And well, we kind of pissed off the bad guy we were at, and then it kind of ended up to the point. Actually, I don't even know if he has the familiar spell, but we'll find that out. As an action, you temporarily dismiss your familiar. You can have one familiar at a time to cast a spell, and already familiar. Or you instead cause it to adapt a new form. Yeah. This has got some good roleplay mechanics. That's what I'm gonna go with this. That long line of text. That's got some good roleplay mechanics. But I feel like that's pretty much all that it kind of has at that point. But then again, I don't play classes that have familiars that much. So that's something I'm going to have to invest in depending on how that all goes. All right. Fog cloud. You create a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range. The sphere spreads around the corners and areas effectively obstructed. Less turn duration when greater 10 speed. It lasts for the duration until wind and moderate greater speed, at least 10 miles per hour. Dispersed it. Increases by 20 feet for each spell above first. I'm gonna plop this in situational, because while this spell seems like it could just be an okay spell, you could use it to escape whatever is trying to kill you. And that's usually what will save you in the end. Alright, Frost Fingers. Freezing cold blasts from your fingertips in a 15-foot cone. Each creature must make a Constitution saving throw, taking 2d8 cold damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Cold freezes non-magical liquids in the area that isn't being worn or carried. And then when it gets 1d8 above that. I'm putting that there. It's because it's the Constitution saving throw for the most part. At low levels, this might not be an issue, but the higher you go, it will end up being a problem because everyone's going to have a very high Constitution modifier, or at least they should. Gift of Altricity. It's just a willing creature for the duration. Target 1d and it gets 1d for initiative. Or you could just play a Twilight Killer. It can give them advantage on their rolls. And it's for Wizard. It's only for Wizard of the Chronography and the Gravitaria. I would say godlike, but I'm gonna say this is an okay spell, if only for the fact that this would probably be higher, but it's only for like 2 classes of wizard, and if I remember right, in order to get access to other class spells, you have to pick a feat that corresponds with that. Or could you choose Magic Innate and get that as well? Things to look up later, but I feel like that's where that's gonna go. Sorry. Do with things because my friend was like, because he has an owl familiar. He's like, well, it's a spirit. I didn't have it summoned. Well, good, because I have a plan. But anyways, good berry, up to 10 berries appear in your hand and are infused with magic. For the duration, a creature eats 1 berry. Eating a berry restores 1 hit point, and the berry provides enough nourishment to sustain a creature for 1 day. And at low level, this is a god tier. All right. Grease. Slick grease covers an area within a foot square centered on a point within range, and it turns to difficult terrain for the duration. When grease appears, each creature standing in its area. Hmm. Creature enters the. Oh, okay, yeah, that's definitely god tier then. Can I just do that? Means stupid. Okay. Guiding bolt. Why does that sound alert not want to? Oh, maybe because I don't have. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Master Midnight. I forgot to put sound alerts on this flare. Let me put this. Uh, Let's see. I wonder if there's a go to my career dashboard. Let me see if I can get back those up. Or is there a way to do that? Setting. Nope, that's not it. I don't want that. There, quick action. Let me add that there for the. Okay, that does. Oh, manage reward requests. Okay, for me that would work. Uh, why am I only seeing the ones from last days? What if I want to see the one from today? Okay, I don't see that. Okay. Well, things to figure out later then. Anyways. Back to the spell list. And how are you doing today, hey Master Midnight? Flash of light strikes towards a creature of your choice within range. On a hit, the target takes 4d6 radiant. There's no question where this is going. This is going to be God tier because 8, it's 4d6. You just got to make a range spell attack. Yeah. Indeed, indeed. Indeed, they can. Do I have that spell on my list, or I rebuild my spell list so that way I was more character built? No, we're not deleting Mr. T. I love Mr. T, even though he was a one-shot fighter who screwed up like so many attacks. No, I. Oh, that's inside, huh? Oh dear. I hope everything's okay, Master Midnight. So yeah, I don't have that spell prepared. I say it's a god tier spell, but I don't have that prepared. But then again, I am more of a close range fighter, and I'm not that heavy. I'm not wearing heavy armor right now. Because I got captured. Where are we? Hail of Thorns. The next time you hit a creature with a ranged weapon, before the spell ends, the spell creates a rain of thorns that sprouts from your ranged weapon and ammunition. In addition to the normal attack, each creature must make a dexterity and saving throw. 10 and a... Okay. Into situational it goes, because you could do extra damage. You could do little extra damage, or you could do a lot of damage. Also, you could miss, and the spell would probably not work, if that's how that's worded. Also, you are keeping concentration on this spell as well, right? Yeah, you are keeping concentration on this spell. Healing word. A creature of your choice that you see within range regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier. I really wish that these were. I really wish that. What was it? Cure wounds and healing words, like dice rolls, were swapped around. Because I feel like you're doing more healing from afar than you are up close. That is really weird. That is really weird. But yeah, companies are definitely going to be companies. Yeah, I do kind of wish that the dice stuff was switched around. Because I feel like you could do a lot more healing with Healing Word than you could do with Cure Wounds. And with Cure Wounds being like, I have to be right next to somebody, I feel like this should be less. But that's just me. Hellish Rebuke. You pointed at a creature, and the creature that damaged you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. The creature makes a dexterity saving throw or takes 2d fire damage, 2d10 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much. Boop a doop boo, up to God tier you go, because that's always the fun thing. It's like, oh, you damaged me? Oof. Hellish Rebuke. I always love that spell. Here we are getting. Are we going to be able to fit this all in one page? I hope so. Oh my goodness, we're almost near the end. I mean, that's fair too. That's also fair. All right. Oh no, why do you reset after I'm looking at a spell? And heroism. A willing creature you touch is imbued with bravery until the spell ends. The creature is immune to being frightened and gains temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting modifier at the start of your turn. Can I learn this spell? No, I can't. Son of a... Oh, actually, no, that's fine. When the spell ends, the target loses any regained hit points in the spell. You can target one additional creature. It's an okay spell. But if the goal is to prevent a creature from being frightened or gain more temporary hit points, there are other spells and other classes that could do this way better. Also, this is from the player's handbook too, so that's probably why this was. At the time, I feel like this spell would, if I was comparing this back when 5e first came out, this probably would be up here because it'd be the only thing that's really good about it. But it's an okay spell. I still say if your goal is to prevent creatures from being frightened or gain temporary hit points, but also still wanted to play a cleric class, I would go with Twilight. I would definitely go with that. All right. Hex. You place a curse on a creature that you see within range till the spell ends. You deal extra 1d6 necrotic damage to the target whenever you hit it with a spell or with an attack. Also choose one ability when you cast a spell. The target has disadvantage on ability checks made of that chosen type. If it drops to 0 before the spell ends, you choose bonus action on a subsequent creature to put a new curse on. A remove curse cast on the target ends the spell early. Wait. Place a curse on a creature you see within range till the spell. Oh, fuck. Yeah. God tier because this is mainly this is mainly like a warlock spell for the most part. So it kind of makes sense that unless like you're playing a warlock class, you're not going to have this spell on any of your lists. But yeah, I agree. I agree. If you're just putting that on there and you're basically doing that, actually, this is also the hunter. Oh, that makes Hex the hunter's mark for warlocks. Then let me zoom out a bit more so that way we have more room. Yeah, that okay. Yeah, then I have to put hunter's mark. Yeah, then I have to put hunter's mark right up in God tier 2 then if I put Hex there. Because that's for because Hunter's Mark does an extra 1d6 damage with extra benefits because you have advantage on any wisdom in terms of perception and wisdom survival to find the target. And then you can also, as the bonus action, if the creature dies or it points to 0, you can move it to the next creature. So that's pretty rad. All right. Oh my gosh, are we almost near the bottom? Oh my goodness. I think we're almost done. Oh, we're going through these pretty quickly. Ice Knife. You create a shard of ice and fling it at one creature within range. You make a ranged spell attack. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing damage. Hit or miss, the shard explodes in the target, and each creature within 5 feet must make a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage. Into the situational pile it goes. Because, yes, you could hit it. And then you could also have them do extra damage if they fail the dex save. But if they don't fail the dex save, then you don't really have a whole lot to work with. Exactly, lab coat. Exactly. Got a nice effect, but they can still dodge. And if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge an ice knife. I don't like that it does this every time. Identify. You choose one object that you must touch this throughout the casting of the spell. If it's a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them. Into God's here it goes. You learn any spells affecting the item. If you creature throughout casting, you learn that spells, if any, are currently affecting it. Yeah. Wait. Oh well, he's playing his character as a newbie, so that makes sense. He's not thinking about that. Illusionary script. You write on a parchment or paper or some other suitable writing material and imbued it with potential illusion in that blasted duration. To you or any creatures you designate when you cast the spell, the writing appears normal, written in your hand. Meh for this? You think meh for illusionary script? To all others, writing appears as if it written to unknown magical script that is intelligible. It causes the writing to appear and alter different message written in a different hand. To the spell end and the original script, illusion destroyed creature with true sight can. Oh yeah, with true sight, yeah. But I feel, well, because this is ritual. I feel like this has some roleplay potential. For the most part, I feel like it has some roleplay potential because you could easily attempt to trick somebody. Actually, no, that wouldn't work. Because even if the duration is for 10 days. Maybe it is meh. And be dispelled. Yeah, if they dispel it. Yeah, okay, yeah. Put it back in meh. I'm putting it down in meh. Inflict wounds. Melee attack takes 3d10 necrotic and gets more. God tier. Especially if you crit on an inflict wound. Mwah. It is amazing. Especially when you get to cast that with extra. When you cast that above, you get an extra d10. All right. So, book acquisitions incorporated. So does that mean there are 70? Oh yeah, because this is Jim's magic missile, which is not like magic missile. Because you have to make ranged spell attacks. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's like it's a weird Jim's magic missile. Essentially, you For these magic missiles, though, unlike the original magic missile, which we'll get to pretty soon, it looks like. On a hit, you deal 2d force damage, but if it crits, the missile takes. Wait. The attack roll score is a critical hit. The target of that missile takes 5d4 force damage instead of you rolling twice for a critical hit. If the attack roll of... Yeah, this one's not an auto hit. Yeah, this one's not an auto hit. So this is going to be situational. Because it's nice that you get extra stuff. It does 2d4, which is eh. But if it crits, it can do a little bit more. If the missile is a 1 and all missiles miss their targets and blow up in your face. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is a very situational spell. Okay, so I think this is a flavor of Magic Missile to make it more interesting. I don't foresee this getting played a whole lot because most people think, oh, you're casting Magic Missile, you automatically hit. Wait, why are you rolling a d4? Yeah. Jump. You touch a creature, the creature's jump just is crippled. It's an okay spell. I don't feel like you're going to be using jump a whole lot. I'm surprised we're almost near the end too. I thought this was going to be a way longer stream. I guess I'll say that next time when I have to do level 2s or 3. I'll have to I'll double check the listing. Long Strider. Speed increases by 10 feet. Meh. Like, this is literally meh. Because there's not a whole... Unless... this meh. It's meh. It's very meh. Mage armor. Such a creature isn't wearing armor and protection force surrounds them and their AC becomes 13 plus its dexterity mod. Come here. I'm gonna plop this in situational. Because the AC could be good or their AC could be better. Plus, you can also use Mage Armor to help you in a case when you're captured, so you have high AC. Magic Missile! Auto hits. God tier. Auto hits God tier does more damage than Gems, I believe. No, 1d4 plus 1. Yep. Definitely good. Yep. Magic Missile does God tier. Magnify Gravity. Okay, this one might be... the gravity in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point you see within range increases for a moment. Each creature in the sphere for that turn you cast a spell must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, they take 2d8 force damage, and their speed is halved until the end of the next turn. It takes half the damage. Successful save, they take half damage and suffer no reduction. And then until the start, any object isn't worn or carried in the sphere requires a strength save. This is very situational. But it's situational at this point. But also the fact... Yeah, it's very situational. And then also add to the fact that it's also only for like 2 wizard subclasses. So you're not going to really get a whole lot of... There's not going to be a whole lot of play with this. Protection from good and evil. Where did I put... Oh yeah, I put all of them up there. Till the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against a certain creature types. The creature gains several benefits. The creature of those types have disadvantage on attackers. Okay, I know I put the others in roleplay, but this is going into situational because you got to be very specific on what creature you're going to have the person be protected from. Otherwise, it doesn't work very well. The creature also can't be charmed or frightened or possessed by them. If the creatures or targets are charmed or frightened and possessed by a creature, the target has advantage. I might need to grab this against... Wait, no, I don't. I don't need to grab this against our barbarian. My Twilight Cleric ability negates this. Well, the Twilight Cleric Channel Divinity negates the charmed effect. So we should be fine that way. Yep. Purify food and drink. All non-magical food and drink within 5-foot radius sphere center your point is purified and rendered free of poison and disease. Roleplay. That's going to roleplay for sure. Ray of Sickness. Ray of Sickening greenish energy lashes out towards a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack. It takes 2d poison and must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed, it is poisoned until the next turn. And poison is disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. Situational. It's that Constitution saving throw. It's like, yes, it's nice that you can do 2d8 poison, but also there's a chance you could poison the enemy. But if they pass it, well, you're kind of shit out of luck there. All right, Sanctuary. You ward a creature within range against an attack. Until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or harmful spell must make its wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. The spell doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects such as an explosion or a fireball. Well, what's the bloody point? If the warded creature makes an attack, then... Okay, I would say situational... I would say situational, but that... The fact that it doesn't protect you from a fireball or an explosion would make sense, though. But Sanctuary would probably work better as a roleplay spell for the most part, I think. Searing Smite. Is this one of the few smites we have at this level? I think that's one of the few smites we've dealt with. Yes, because there's Thunderous Smite. Paladin, and you can also use this as a Cleric of the Forge. The next time you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration, your weapon flails with hot intensity, and the attack deals 1d6 fire damage to the target and causes the target to ignite in flames. At the start of its turn until the spell ends, the target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, they take 1d6 fire damage. On a success, the spell ends. If the creature target within 5 feet... Wait, when's Blade? I thought Booming Blade was... Yeah, definitely cool flavor, but it's still going into situational. Oh wait, no, Booming Blade's a cantrip. Why did I... My brain went to a... My brain shut off for a second there. I'm like, where's Booming Blade on this list? Oh wait, no, that's a cantrip. Hell, you already did this. Alright. Searing Smite. Shield. Basically, use your reaction. Get +5 to your AC. It's a shame it's not for every class. It's not for most sub-belt classes, though. Or, you know, clerics. Like, come on. Come on, wizards. Make a spell that give boosts cleric AC. Please. We need more more of that. I say this even though because I had my heavy armor. I had 18 AC with a shield, and the DM was rolling 20s. Oh, you know, above 20s, like 22, 25, and I'm sitting here like, bruh, why you do this to me? And then we have Shield of Faith, which is it's essentially a meh. Yeah, it's essentially a meh shield, but you get to basically choose whoever you want to have that shield but it's only like 2 AC though. Silent image. You create the image of an object, a creature. The image appears at a spot in range. Its visual is purely visual, isn't accompanied by sound or smell. You can use your action to cause the image to move. That's the weird thing I found about clerics is that we have a lot of cool spells, but well, as cleric players, I say this is that we have a lot of cool spells at our disposal, but a lot of it is concentration based, and it's like, okay, I get it. You want clerics to be cool. Can we stop having spells that are concentration based and forcing us to pick the healing spells? We want to be more than heal bots. If we wanted to be a heal bot, we would have picked Life Cleric as our domain. But no, we chose other paths in life. We don't want to always heal. I hate that stereotype so much. Change location, you alter its appearance for the movement it appears for its natural image. Meh. That's where that's going. It's an okay spell. I feel like depending on the situation, it could work better, but it's meh. Let's see. Silvery Barbs. You can magically distract the triggering creature and turn its momentary uncertainness into encouragement for another creature. The target must reroll the d20 and use the lower roll. You can choose a different creature you see within range. You can choose yourself. The creature's advantage on the next attack roll. The ability or saving throw it makes within 1 minute. A creature can be empowered by only one use of the spell. Okay. On one reaction, which you take when a creature you see within 60 feet of you succeeds in an attack roll, ability check, or a saving throw. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is so this could help someone fail a roll. I'm gonna put this under situational. If only because I haven't played. I've played a no, actually no, I haven't played a bard. I played a bard in one shot, but it was not exactly a bard for that one shot. And yeah, and I have a sorcerer backup, but I don't think I'd be able to use high level spells. And yeah, I've also never played wizard either. Yeah, I've never played wizard. I've built a wizard. So yeah. Sleep. Um, this is situational. I don't need to talk about this because you roll essentially what sleep does. I'm just gonna go through it because Twilight Clerics have this as a spell. That's always auto prepped. Is that you roll 5d8 and then creatures within 20 feet, and then you go in ascending order of their current hit points. And then the ones with the lowest basically go to sleep, and then you just go up from there. It's an okay spell, but it's very situational. Snare. As you cast this spell, you can use the rope to create a circle within 5-foot radius on the ground or floor. When you finish casting, the rope disappears and the circle becomes a magic trap. This has... I don't even need to read the rest of this. This has some roleplay value. Yeah, this has roleplay value. So where did I put alarm? Put alarm here. Because you could combine these two together, and it could be an amazing, like, situational roleplay aesthetic. Oh, I can't believe we're almost at the end. Speak with animals. You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. You must be able to persuade them to perform a small favor for you at the DM's discretion. That's an okay spell. I don't... It's very druid-like, but... Okay. Can I do the... Up here, so that way that's like that? Yes, that's better. Son of a... Exactly. Alright. Tasha's Caustic Brew. A stream of acid emits from you in a line of 30 feet, 5 feet direction you choose. Each creature in the line must succeed a dexterity saving throw or be covered in acid for the spell's duration, or until a creature uses reaction to scrape or wash the acid itself on a creature. A creature covered in the acid takes 2d4 acid damage. Let me cast this higher, it becomes an extra 2d4. This is situational. It's got there are things you could do with it, but for the most part, you're not gonna get a whole lot of other... Yeah, actually, no. It's definitely situational because of that whole other thing. And then we have Tasha's Hideous Laughter. A creature your choice that you see within range perceives anything as hilariously funny and falls into laughter. The spell affects it. The target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or fall prone. Becomes incapacitated and unable to stand. Ugh. I'm putting this in God tier. If only because there are situations, and there are a lot of roleplay mechanics where Hideous Laughter has been used, and it has just derailed any, like, puzzle the DM has decided to work with. Although, I think the DM decided to do that himself. Yeah, that's right, if I remember correctly. The DM decided to be mischievous and have a character do that to one of the other NPCs. But it was still hilarious. Alright. Tensor's Floating Disc. The spell creates a circular horizontal plane of force 3 foot in diameter and 1 inch thick, and then floats 3 above. The disc remains for the duration and held at 500 pounds. If more weight is placed on it, the spell ends and everything and the disc falls to the ground. The disc is immobile while you're within 20 feet of it. If you're more than 20 feet away from it, the disc follows you, so it remains within 20 feet of you. It can move across unseen terrain, up or down stairs, slopes, and the like, but it can't cross elevation change of 10 feet or more. For example, the disc can't move across a 10-foot deep pit, nor could it leave such a pit as if it was created from the bottom. If you move more than 100 feet away from the disc, typically because it can't move around an obstacle to follow you, the spell ends. It's an okay spell. I feel like for the most part, you're not going to get a whole lot of it. And plus, like, if you get a bag of holding, if this is how you're going to hold most of your stuff or steal something, you're basically going to be able to steal that easier than with the floating disc. Plus, a bag of holding will save you spell slots, and I can't wait to get my bag of holding back. And my arm. My cleric has a Hextech arm, which they took when we went into the prison. So now I have to get it back. Pray that they didn't do anything to it. Alright. Almost at the end. Thunderous Smite. The first time you hit a creature, you hit with melee attack, their spell's duration. Your melee wings with thunder that is audible within 300 feet of you. And the attack deals an extra 2d6 damage to the target. Additionally, if the target is a creature, it must succeed a strength saving throw, be pushed back 10 feet, or knocked prone. This is situational. Deals extra damage. Yes. Yeah, it is so not for stealth, and that's the question there. Let me get up and stretch for a bit. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's a little better. That'll wake me up. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Okay, yeah. So the app admits it now. There are 79 spells. How dare you lie to me and say there were 80 spells last night? Or the night before? How dare you lie to me and say that there were 80 spells? All right. Thunder Wave. A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution save. On a failed save, the creature takes 2d8 thunder damage or is pushed away from you. Indeed, but it also depends on how you build the bard. So, based on what I've just read, this is definitely go into situational. Because you can clear the board and push people away from you, and then get a lot, help your party get a lot of attacks of opportunity. But at the same time, though, that Constitution save, was that Constitution save or Dex save? I don't remember. Unseen Servant. This spell creates an invisible and mindless, shapeless medium form. But this booker from civil tax command until the spell ends. The servant springs into existence into an occupied space. Once on each of your turns as a bonus action, you can mentally command the servant to move up to 15 feet and interact with an object. Can perform simple tasks. Okay. Meh. I don't really need a whole lot. It's just meh. It doesn't really do a whole lot of anything else, so it's just meh. Witch Bolt. Beam of cracking blue energy lances out toward a creature you see within range, forming a sustained arc of light between you and the target. Make a ranged spell attack against that creature, and a hit takes 1d12 lightning damage. And on each of your turns, you can use your action to damage the target automatically. Pretty much. So this is going to go into... Wait, is there an Arcane Guiding Bolt? Huh. Zoom out a bit more. Can I get away with it being here? Okay, perfect. I mean, I am going to have to take a screenshot of this. All right. Wrathful Smite. The next time you hit a creature with an attack, unique so 1d6 psychic damage. Additionally, targets a creature, which most of them are. Must make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened of you until the spell ends. As an action, the creature can make a wisdom check to end the spell. Into the situational pile it goes, which I'm going to expect a lot of these spells are going to be situational in here. But here we go, gang. The final spell on level 1, Zephyr Strike. It's only for Ranger. You move like the wind until the spell ends. Your movements don't provoke attack of opportunity. Once before the spell ends, you can give yourself advantage on weapon attack roll 1 turn. The attack does an extra 1d8 force damage on hit. Whether you hit or miss, your walking speed increases by 30 feet until the next turn. I'm definitely... This is going to be the last situational spell on here because, yes, you get attacks. You get an attack. You don't provoke attack of opportunity when you go extra 30 feet of movement. Actually, no. We'll put this under... Yeah, we'll put this here. We'll put this up here. All right. Let me make sure I got this situated here. Take a quick screenshot of this. Where's my clip? There it is. New. Oh shoot, no, I don't want that because that's gonna get that, and I don't like that being there. Nope. Open that back up again. Doop. Ba-doo, 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 ba-ba. Save all this. All level. And now I can post that to Twitter later. And that goes connected to me. I think that's connected. So I might share the link to this on this thing on Twitter as well. That way y'all can do that there, because I will be creating the stuff for the other spell lists as well. How many spells do I have at level 85? I'll be the judge of that. All right, so next week, I feel like I'm going to do that next week. Yeah, I feel like it's a good idea. Next week, we will be doing the level 2 spells. Let me just hop over to just chatting. Oh, the chatting screen. Quick. All right, time to find somebody to raid today. Let's see. Who's streaming right now? a lot of people I know who are streaming right now, but you know what? Oh wait, no. Hold on. Check. Come on, laptop, you can do this. You got this, buddy. I know you can do it. Like that. We're gonna read them today. And then Friday, we are going to be continuing this. We're going to be continuing the saga of the Lord of the Rings series. We're going to read the Fellowship of the Ring. And we're going to have fun with that. And then I don't. Hopefully, not the week after. Either the next week or the week after that next week. I will be returning to doing some video game streams again. And we'll be able to have a lot of fun with that. I have a lot of games on my docket I need to finish. Alright, so we're going to go raid Karth. Have it next one. Right, spell raid correctly. Oh, Viv just went live. Oh, wait, no, but I think I raided Viv already. We have that, and that should do that. And then I will be posting all this stuff on Twitter, but then, yeah, I will see hopefully all y'all next week as we continue on through the adventures. Later!